the art of doing nothing. That's the topic for today. Today was a very, very hectic day. But the more hectic it gets, the better it is sometimes to just do nothing and nothing at all. And it's not that I'm doing nothing then for the whole day. No, it's you have to recenter yourself. And that works best if you start thinking and not acting. And it's one of the hardest things usually for people that are very driven and that want to do stuff and move stuff. And I like moving stuff, so that means it's like push other people in order that stuff gets done. And then taking a step back and doing nothing is sometimes the hardest thing for me. And I'm pretty sure for some of you as well. Now, how does that actually work and why is it so effective? If we have a very hectic day like we have today, because we're in the middle of this big hiring, because we're expanding our powder coating team and basically doubling the team size, and there are a lot of people coming in and out, but as in any small business, that person that does all the interviews has to also run the production or be in health and safety meetings or do purchasing. So everything that people normally do in their workday, which they are fully occupied with, and sometimes that time's not enough, they now have to go through all of these interviews, and that adds a lot of more stress to the team. It also adds a lot of stress to the team if you see a lot of new people basically coming in and out, having all of the talks, because everybody knows what we're doing, but nobody knows exactly the status because the status changes hour by hour. And we have filled more than half of the positions that we need, which is really, really good after just 1 week with really good people, with really promising people. Now, when I do nothing, I usually do a walk through the fabrication. I go and I talk to different people. So it's not really doing nothing, but it's like I'm taking my mind off the task. I'm getting different inputs. I'm getting a feeling for what's going on. I'm looking at some of the products we're doing. We in the tool making business, we're doing a lot of welding jigs to make things easier for our welders. So all of this are great things, and it's great progress, and it gives my head, and I'm sure you can find that thing for you, and it might not be the same as for me, but everybody of us has this thing. When you do this, it just takes your mind off everything that's going on, of all the chaos and everything that's going on, and you are able to recenter yourself and start thinking clearly. So two things for me work really good in those things. One is I'm walking around, talking to different people, talking to the supervisors, finding out what's going on. And the other thing is I sometimes, and that looks really strange, I'm sometimes just standing in the middle of the production and just watching everything that's going on. Why am I doing that? It's not because I'm bored, and it's not because I want to see that everybody is actually working and nobody is basically just standing there and doing nothing. No, I want to see the movements. I want to see how material moves through. I want to see where is stuff stored, how is it moving from A to B, and then to see is that efficient. And while I'm standing there and looking at stuff, I usually have the best ideas. So sometimes I just snap a picture, sometimes I just take a note in the cell phone. Usually I don't have paper with me because then I would need to carry a book, and that sometimes I just get a cup of coffee or a cup of tea or sometimes a glass of water, and I'm just standing there and watching what's going on, how stuff is moving, if there are any things that could be done more efficient. And that's the key. And that's the art of doing nothing. It's really understanding how things work. And it's also in the office. I'm doing the same. I'm just sitting there and watching how people interact with each other, what happens, who comes into the office, what type of questions are they having, why are they coming into the office. And that's the first question I'm asking myself. I'm not interrupting the flow. I want to see the natural flow, so to say, in the business, and I want to see all the interactions going on, because every change that we do has an effect on somebody. And very often, not even the person that you are like discussing the change with and you agree the change with, not even that person might know all the ripple effects that change has, because it's not documented, because there are a lot of other things moving, and they just forget it. It's not bad will, it's not malicious intent, it's just simply not no awareness of everything that's going on. And this is like when I'm there and I'm doing nothing, that's when I realize those little things. And that's also where I find a lot of the inefficiencies that we're currently fixing. They are obvious if you look, but if you are busy, you will just miss them. If I go into a meeting and then I'm focused on that meeting, we're gonna do a health and safety meeting, so I'm focusing on everything that's health and safety, and I'm literally forgetting everything else for that particular moment. And then if we do a quality meeting, I'm in quality. If we do a production meeting, I'm all in the schedule and everything. But because it narrows so much down, and that's for everybody in that meeting, because you're so focused on that thing that you will not realize what other things are going on in parallel. And especially if you change a lot in a company and you have a lot of changes that are going on in that company, sometimes it's good to pause. It's not the easiest thing, and you might wanna start off slow if you're not feeling comfortable or confident with it, because sometimes you get quite strange looks if you are just standing there and not doing anything. Obviously, it helps if you are one of the owners. That does help, because it comes with a certain status, which doesn't look as weird. But also when I walked into as a consultant, I did the same thing. And that's where people think it's like, okay, wait a minute, we're paying that person and all they are doing is standing and drinking a coffee. And especially if you do that for maybe an hour a day, which I would easily do, sometimes even more, they are thinking like, okay, we're on the clock. And you stand there and you literally do nothing. Can you not like improve something right now? And that's the opposite of what you want, because you want to understand exactly what you change and what the effects are. And this is sometimes why you just should do nothing. And with that, I leave you for today after a very, very hectic and long day, and I see you guys tomorrow. Cheers. Bye.